the esteemed president of the World Wrestling Federation, the Honorable Jack Tunney. Now then, Mr. Tunney, there has been a great deal of speculation here in recent weeks as to who would be in the main event at WrestleMania 7. Well, clearly, Sgt Slaughter will be defending the World Wrestling Federation crown at that big spectacular in Los Angeles. The question in my mind is who will be his opponent? Could it be Hulk Hogan? After all, at WrestleMania 6, he never received a rematch with the Ultimate Warrior. And speaking of the Ultimate Warrior, after that very controversial decision at the Royal Rumble, certainly he is deserving of a rematch against Sgt Slaughter. And then, earlier tonight, right here, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, victorious over Sgt Slaughter. He's in line for a rematch against Sgt Slaughter. And what about the Macho King, Randy Savage? After all, Sgt Slaughter himself proclaimed the Macho King would be the #1 contender if he indeed became the World Wrestling Federation champion. My question to you, President Tunney, who will be meeting Sgt Slaughter for the World Wrestling Federation crown at WrestleMania?
After intense deliberations, I have made a decision. Sgt Slaughter's opponent in Los Angeles will be Hulk Hogan.
All right. The Hulkster will face Sgt Slaughter in the main event. Standing by right now, champion Sgt Slaughter with Sean Mooney.
Sgt Slaughter, the crowd out in the arena is ecstatic. They're on their feet cheering President Jack Tunney's announcement.
Let them cheer, Pew Face, because they won't be cheering long. Hogan has never faced an opponent like me before. I'll stop at nothing to defend what's mine. I'll stoop to depths lower than anything Hogan or his pukemaniacs could ever imagine. They'll have no stomach for true conflict, and that's why they'll never savor the true taste of victory over Sgt Slaughter. You see, Hogan, this is my belt, and I don't have to share it with anybody. I don't care if public sentiment is in your favor. Let the public be damned, because you and all your pukemaniacs are nothing but infidels, and the only terms acceptable to me will be your unconditional surrender. And Hulk Hogan, that, you immortal slime, is in order.
We're back in the arena. Standing by Mean Gene Okerlund, Hulk Hogan.
What about it, Hulkster?
Well, you know something, Mean Gene? Sgt Slaughter and General Adnan can already feel the red-hot breath of me and all my Hulkamaniacs breathing down their neck, brother. You know something? Jack Tunney did it, man. He signed it on the dotted line. And in the WWF and WrestleMania 7, me and Sgt Slaughter are going to war, brother. Recently, I've just been on a USO tour, man. I went to Fort Bragg. I went to Fort Knox. I went to Pope Air Force Base and also MacDill Air Force Base, brother. I spent time with all my little Hulkamaniacs. I spent time listening to all the families of all the men and women over in the Persian Gulf that are fighting for our freedom, brother. All my little Hulksters, man. All my little Hulkamaniacs understand why their moms are over there fighting. They understand why their fathers are over there fighting. Some of the little Hulkamaniacs, both of their parents are over there right now, fighting and defending our freedom, brother. They understand what it's all about. I talked to the troops. I spent time with some of the troops that have already been over there and been back, and they understand why we're going to war to fight for our freedom. But the one thing that all my little Hulkamaniacs don't understand is how Sgt Slaughter also is protected right now by us fighting for our freedom, man. He's protected in our country, the United States of America, and that's what my little Hulkamaniacs don't understand. Sergeant Slaughter, you have the gall to wave the Iraqi flag, brother. You have the gall to suggest that you may desecrate our flag, brother. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the training, the prayers, the vitamins, the believing in ourselves, me, all my Hulkamaniacs, and all my Harley Davidsons, brother, we're coming after you in WrestleMania 7, brother. You come out here, Sergeant Slaughter, and you act like you're the commander and the chief of the whole WWF. And you talk about having things your way, playing by your rules, brother. Well, the way I figured, if we're playing by your rules, Sergeant Slaughter, you'd probably take 1 million gallons of oil and try to gag all my little Hulkamaniacs. Maybe you'd even try to fire some Scud missiles at all my little Hulksters, but you'd meet the largest set of Patriots, brother, and I'd blow them down out of the sky. Look at my shirt, Sergeant Slaughter. This is the WWF. Hulkamania is the strongest force in the universe, brother. And just like it says on my shirt, the Hulkster rules, brother. And there's not a darn thing you can do about it, man. The way I feel right now with all my little Hulkamaniacs on my side is I pledge before all of my Hulkamaniacs all over the world. I pledge before all my countrymen right here in the United States of America. And I pledge before Almighty God that I will be the next WWF champion. And there's one last thing that I want to pledge. I want to pledge to my country and to my flag. And I want all my Hulkamaniacs here. I want you to stand up right now. And I want you to pledge with me. I want you to pledge allegiance to our flag, Hulkamaniacs. Let's do it for God, our families, and our country. Are you ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whether or not Hulk Hogan's pledge is stronger than Sgt. Slaughter's resolve.